Welcome to the Finance Podcast. In today's episode, we bring you 3 exciting startup pitches from THORWallet, TRESIO, and Aidonic. Let's dive in and discover what makes these innovative ventures stand out.
So, hello everyone. We are over now the lunchtime, and I think the best thing to do during your lunch is to join us at the startup pitches here on the booth where we'll have our 3 startups presenting. I have the great pleasure to briefly open this session. My name is Jordi Montserrat. I'm the CEO of VentureLab. And at VentureLab, just a brief word, what do we do? For the past 20 years, we have been supporting the best startups in Switzerland. The best startups in Switzerland we support thanks to identifying the best talent and doing, at the start, training. Then we support them with financing, early stage financing up to 150 per startup with a venture kick fund. And then we follow with international roadshow. And this is why we are here this afternoon, to talk about those startups, fintech startups, who are building the future of the finance and the fintech in Switzerland, which have participated to this international roadshow. And finally, and it is always my pleasure, we run the top 100 Swiss startups. You see here the magazine. Don't hesitate to take one when you are leaving the show here, the conference. In these top 100, every year we identify the most promising Swiss startups in Switzerland where you can also invest. Venture Leaders, we go international. We are putting these all over the place. With the Venture Leaders FinTech, we go to London. What do? We identify the best startups. We run them through a selection process. And they go to our roadshow in London. They will be going this fall. For this introduction, actually it is a call to all the partners who are around. We are always looking, and these are a few highlights of our last roadshow in 2023. And we're making a call. I hope you all have your phone to do the scan, or else you find us at the entry of the hall. We make a call for all the startups, of course, first, who would like to join the roadshow and meet international investors, for the partners and partners who wants to join these adventures, and of course, all investors who want to meet startups and to have an opportunity to invest. Without further ado, it's my great pleasure to give the floor to our program manager, Raphael Keller, to introduce the startups. Again, I'm Jordi Montserrat from VentureLab, and if you have any question about the roadshow, don't hesitate to connect with us and to connect with these great startups that we'll be presenting right now, which are alumni of this roadshow. Thank you very much, everyone, and Raphael, I pass the floor to you.
Well, thank you very much, Jordi. It's super exciting for us to always connect the hotspots of finance. And of course, for us, Zurich is at our heart, but obviously there is at least one more spot where we just have to be, because that's where a lot of the global business is taking place in finance, and that is London. So all our fintech startups, probably sooner or later, they get to London anyway. For us, it's important to introduce them as early as possible, to get introduced to the investors and also to the corporates that help them to scale globally. And we're really, really excited to always showcase who we've had in the past 2 years. You see here 10 startups per year. Those come out of hundreds of applications that we receive every year for the program. So those are really the champions. And I'm really, really excited to introduce you today to 3 of those cases right now. So we're starting with THORWallet, and let's hear about how you revolutionize crypto.
Hello, everyone. Nice to be here. Thanks a lot for the very spontaneous invitation. Maybe just quickly for the ones who are here, please raise your hands if you do own crypto. That's pretty good. Who stores their crypto in a non-custodial fashion, like on a ledger or THORWallet? Not too bad, maybe half. All right, let me introduce myself and my company. My name is Marcel Harman. I'm the founder of THORWallet. I'm the founder and CEO of THORWallet, and we are a Web3 neobank. We offer all financial services a human being needs, but based on the open, fair, and transparent DeFi technologies. If I'm talking about financial services, I'm talking about trading, savings accounts, and lending and borrowing. With our newly integrated Swiss bank account, and credit card service, we actually have become a Web3 neobank. Let's quickly dive into the DeFi space. It's actually one of the fastest growing, if not the fastest growing space over the last 2 years or so. We do remember when Uniswap overtook Coinbase in the monthly trading volume as example. And by now, the financial products based on DeFi actually have passed the test of time. And there are several decentralized financial products that really do work, like trading, swapping, savings accounts, lending and borrowing, even derivatives. They're non-custodial, so you're always in control. There is no middleman involved. They're fully transparent and they're highly efficient. Now, there is a problem. DeFi is pretty complex, at least right now. There is no real cross-chain DeFi. Bitcoin, for example, is excluded as the most valuable, most important, biggest crypto assets. It's not really DeFi ready. And it's pretty clumsy. You need to install MetaMask and all this kind of software. So it's not really scalable yet. And that's exactly where THORWallet comes into play. And we built the super app that empowers the user to use DeFi without the need to know the blockchain technology, because we push it in the background. So we make the technology disappear. You can easily trade native tokens across different cross-chain blockchains, so really interoperability. You can invest into a savings account with a simple press of a button, and everything is self-custody, so the token are always with you, and if we go bankrupt, your money is still safe because it's with you. But let's have actually a quick look how easy it really is. So I prepared a demo where we actually performed one of the first cross-chain swaps ever, well, the first cross-chain swap ever in history. So in this example here, I'm going to select, I think it's BUSD from Binance. I immediately get a quote of how much I will receive. I get a summary screen, I need to sign it, Face ID for a security reason, and then it gets broadcasted and eventually transacted through the different blockchains. And boom, that's how easy it is to do a swap. Yeah, and as mentioned, we were the first one to actually enable Bitcoin DeFi and make it ready for DeFi. I have another example how easy it is to put money in a savings account, a DeFi savings account. So in this example, I'm using Dogecoin, but there are others too. So I'm going to select Doge from all those different savings accounts. I see the details currently, $300,000 of Doge are in there. And I get a quote again, transacted to the blockchain. It gets broadcasted, the nodes pick it up, they do what they need to do, put it in the savings account, and I'll get redirected to my main wallet, and here I see now the Doge 200 or 199.48 Doge that are earning interest rate now at the time of recording was like 4.64%. Lately, roughly now half a year ago, we also implemented a real bank account and a Visa card into our non-custodial wallet, which is again a first time for the industry. It's a free account. You get a free virtual Visa card for Google Pay and Apple Pay. Registration is open. This July, August, we will roll it out in over 100 countries. All the major countries, except the US, are there. So we're in Japan, in Singapore, in Hong Kong, in Australia, in Europe, of course, South America, all over the place. Our business model is pretty simple. With every swap within the app, we earn a small fee between 0.1 and 1%. We made revenue from the first day we put the app live. We're break even now. Since around last November, we're in hyper-growth mode and grew over 250% in Q4 last year, and this quarter is pretty much the same. You see some revenue numbers. The volume actually is outdated. No, sorry, the volume is correct. We're somewhere around 80 to 90,000 downloads right now fully focusing on user growth because we are ready to grow, basically. We were building this for 3 years. We are a team based in Switzerland. The management team is based in Switzerland. The team, however, is fully decentralized. We're a proper crypto blockchain startup, so we're all over the place. But Switzerland obviously is the best ecosystem, the crypto valley, when it comes to have your company here. I'm also teaching at University of Lucerne, of Applied Science. Very diverse team, and we're pushed hard. Recent awards, we were fortunate enough to win the startup pitch in Dubai in 2022. We're invited to go to the Oxford University for the FinTech program. Now we're invited also for the venture leaders here in Switzerland, in the top 50 report of CVVC. So lucky enough that we got all those rewards. That's it. Thank you so much. And if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them also over a coffee. Thank you.
So, forecasting cash flow. Is it an art? Is it a science? For many, it's a headache. And TRESIO can solve it, right?
That's why we're here. Thank you very much. My name is Tobias. I'm co-founder and CEO of TRESIO. We're a Zurich-based fintech in the area of treasury management. We're coming from the SME space, so we started with smaller businesses who actually really have a lot of headache managing their cash and forecasting. And we have transitioned to larger customers, including family offices and first private equity funds about a year ago. And today I would like to show you a bit how we really solve your CFO's day. Cash management is really a headache. I'm not sure how many people of you are doing it. We're mostly fund managers and investors here, right? That's why we're attending this conference. But talk to your CFO. It's one of the biggest headaches of them. And it actually comes down to three reasons. Number one, it's a people thing. I trust you guys are professional investors, so you have a good CFO who has the relevant skills. But imagine smaller organizations. It's really like either the knowledge is not there, they're not financial planning analytics pros, but also your CFO. It's very tedious. It's very much manual work, bringing together all this account information, and that's actually what gives them a lot of headache. Number two, there are tools out there. Yes, some of them are also in the room here. But man, they're really expensive. And I'm not sure how many of you want to invest $100,000 before you can even start with introducing a treasury management system. And we think today's generational software should be like as easy as installing an app on your iPhone and just you're good to go. And number three, because of the first 2 points, this actually leaves most of your organizations, and I'm sure 90% in the room can accommodate to this, with either Microsoft Excel, or maybe you're lucky enough and made the investment some years ago, but then you're stuck with an old-fashioned and expensive tool. And that's actually what we are out to solve. Our product suite consists of 3 different pillars. We have the liquidity planning cockpit, where you can really set up your group structure of companies and do the liquidity management on a multi-entity focus, but also on a multi-currency. So you can really set up all the different countries and the different currencies and have it translated automatically to your home currency. Then we have the bank aggregation. We connect to more than 10,000 banks worldwide, including Switzerland, the European Union, US, and we're also flexible, like we did first host-to-host connections, so really like customized setups, like whatever your bank you're using, I'm pretty sure we'll find a way to connect to them. And then we have, last but not least, this is more for SMEs again, but maybe you have some companies that you're invested in or you sit in the board. We also have an intelligence suite, so you can connect to any ERP system and really get like very thoughtful insights into your numbers and KPIs without ever having to write a single line of code. So this really makes us unique, especially because you can bring all your systems and existing bank accounts together and have a complete overview. A little bit of our history. So we started early 2020, right before the COVID outbreak. That was wasn't planned like that, of course. But we have evolved since. We started with really having this liquidity planning cockpit for SMBs. We quickly realized, okay, the real value comes if we can also connect to like systems that are already used on a daily basis. So we partnered up with Bexios and the like to really have like a real-time access to data. In 2022, we expanded to the open banking space. It took us a lot of learnings and discussions and headaches before we made it happen. But now this is really one of the main pillars of our business model, because there we really see, like in the quality and flexibility that we offer, there are actually very few solutions out there in the market. And yeah, that's how we evolve. I mean, we still here for the small businesses, but as said last year, we started with first enterprise functionalities for larger setups like private equity funds and family offices, who really now manage their global bank accounts and exposure through us. Now, yeah, this slide is maybe not that relevant for you unless you want to invest in the company. No, it's so who do we talk with? It's typically the CFO. It's a head of finance that talks to us, and what they all have in common is typically that their organization is very reliant on Excel, Microsoft Excel, and that goes through like business of all size. I even know some stock-listed businesses that really still manage a lot of it on Excel. We just think today with AI and open API connectivities, there should be better ways how you actually manage finance in small and medium-sized organizations. Now, our business really started, like as I said, we started with small and medium-sized businesses. These are some of our customers that we're proud of to work with. And what I would like to show you a bit is the first use case that we had with a family office from Zug. So quickly I have to look which one it is. Yes, it's this one. So they have office in Zug and in Connecticut. They have like roughly 60 entities with 4-level holding structure. And for them it was really a nightmare to know how much cash do we actually have, where, how, and when do we actually need cash to be transferred to which entity. This sometimes takes 2-3 days through the SWIFT system, sorry. And that was really a lot of headache. Of many bank accounts, they knew once per quarter how much cash there is there, because there was simply no way to access it. And with TRESIO, we now have really the solution and the setup for them that they have like a daily accurate view. Hey, where do I have how much cash? How do my future cash flows look like based on this cash? And when do I need to place how much money where? We just introduced a new loan module as well. Now in the times of raising interest rates, this was super relevant, especially for real estate investors as well, where you can actually like simulate all of your loans with the different lenders, banks and non-banks, doesn't really matter. And also simulate, okay, what does it mean if I pay suddenly 2.5% for my mortgage renewal instead of 0.5%? We have a lot of integrators for all kind of data. So the data that is floating around, you want to capture. Of course, you can make your own projections and simulations. And by that, really know, okay, when do I need to place how much cash from which entity and transfer it to where. Some words about our team. We are highly tech focused, so half of our team is really software developers and engineers. Our headquarters is a little bit similar setup to Marcel. We have a headquarters in Zurich with 4 people working here, and the rest of the team is really remote. We believe in remote first culture and having really the best talent from around Europe to make this a success. A few words, I mean, we all, or most of us are investors in here, so a few words about the market. Financial planning and analytics, FP&A. It's a really interesting space to be around right now. Why is that? CFO tech just started to take off a couple years ago. One reason for it is the open banking space. So there's more and more trends that you can actually, that bank accounts are open. It's not just a closed environment where you have to, it's paper worked anyway. No, there are connectors nowadays. And the number 2 is it's the staff shortage that you see everywhere. So it's really hard right now to find trained accounting professionals. That's why there's a lot of investment in automating a lot of finance tasks. And that's why this space is really booming. I mean, FP&A particularly is set to reach almost 17 billion annual revenue by 2031. And it's the market opportunity in the early days. So if you're up for investments, I mean, happy to talk. We're not raising right now, but of course, always interesting to connect for future rounds. To date, we have raised 650,000 Swiss francs from Swiss entrepreneurs mostly. And we plan to operate break even by the end of this year. And man, I can tell you, I'm one of the most heavy users of my own software. So yeah, we're quite confident to reach it. So we have a bit of time. So let me show you a bit how this looks like. So this is like a typical cockpit that we have, how we manage these cash flows. So this is like the forecasting, right? So you have like, yeah, you can select entities and scenarios on the top left. You can always see immediately how much assets in total or how much cash do I have on a worldwide basis. You can also distinguish to only show certain currencies, so you see the currency exposure as well. Then, yeah, you can of course change the days from to, etc., and run various reports. And of course, and that's always this question comes always. Yes, you can download everything to Microsoft Excel. This is how it looks with the bank transactions. So imagine like a huge list, and you can filter. It's like a Google-like search to search all your historic bank transactions. Again, you're probably not the finance people themselves, but trust me, this creates a lot of headaches in the finance offices. And last but not least, we really believe in customization. So with TRESIO, you don't need to be a coder to make beautiful dashboards and reports. You can really customize everything. We're working on this right now to have, this will go live in probably next quarter, that you have really customized in your own corporate identity reports and graphs that you can present to your investors and general partners. By that, I'm coming to finish. Please try it out. There is a QR code here. You can scan it and just sign up for a free trial. And yeah, feel free, take a picture. My mobile number and email address are right there. Reach out to me if you want to discuss either how to apply TRESIO in your organization or also potential future investments. Thank you very much. And if you have questions in the room, just ask. Otherwise, I will be happy to pass on. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toby. Yeah, and coming to one more extremely important topic. It's a huge sector globally, the non-profit sector. It's highly important for making impact and not squandering resources. So, Aidonic, tell us how to do it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. My name is Severios, founder and CEO of Aidonic, based in Zug. The world is facing multiple crises at the same time, from Haiti to Afghanistan, Myanmar, Sudan. Just last week, the Paris conference pledged over 2 billion in humanitarian assistance to the crisis of Sudan, which is at the moment the biggest displacement crisis. Over 9 million people are displaced. 25 million people are in need of humanitarian assistance as we speak. The 2 billion that are pledged, imagine how long it will take that it gets down to the people right now who need it the most. It will take in average 6 to 12 months. But the people are facing famine at the moment. That's why we build technology. We build technology to get aid faster, much more efficient, and full transparently to the people who need it the most in all the complex crises. I myself, together with my co-founder, we spent the last 15 years in most of the disaster-affected regions and crisis-affected regions, from Afghanistan to Syria to Africa and to the Middle East. We worked at various international organizations, including the Red Cross, UN agencies. I myself founded my own NGO and implemented more than 500 humanitarian programs in the most complex regions. That was when we discovered this huge inefficiency and lack of digital technologies that can help humanitarians on their daily missions. If you look at the 3 pain points here, split by the 3 groups, this is basically the value chain of how humanitarian aid funding is flowing down to the people. It comes from the international global donors. That can be development departments of governments, it can be UN agencies, it can be foundations, or even private donors and impact investors. They provide the funds to international organizations, where the international organizations are contracting local partners in the development and crisis-affected regions to implement the projects. Now, all of them have different problems. To summarize it, they all are accountable and compliant to each other on making sure that the funds are used as intended, and the reports are really speaking, the data in the reports is really the data that took place in the very last mile. So our innovation is really focusing on capturing the data in the very last mile and make sure that the financial transactions are really those financial transactions that the global donors are requesting. Now, for the global donors, they are receiving all these reports from thousands of projects. Just to give you an example, the World Food Programme alone is supporting over 80 million people. All their data need to be managed somewhere, GDPR compliant and in an efficient way. Our platform, it's a B2B software solution which combines cutting-edge technologies such as blockchain to ensure immutability of data, payment aggregation to enable humanitarian organizations to transact cash and payments across borders in more than 200 countries in real time, and artificial intelligence AI tools that can ensure that fraud can be detected at the very local level instantly. So we build a B2B platform, but what you see here is on the left-hand side is basically an NFT. The NFT is basically collecting all the data that comes from the very last mile and showcases the transparent information that every project and every distribution is doing on a transparent distributed ledger. This NFT can be shared with each stakeholder. The QR code leads the stakeholders, the donors, to a comprehensive report. The report sits on a decentralized ledger, which cannot be altered, cannot be changed at any time. The moment aid is delivered, that moment we record all the single transactions on the blockchain. We basically generate revenue in two ways. We have a transaction fee that we charge based on the funds that we process through the platform. We work with payment aggregators and global payment networks, so we can basically facilitate payments globally. We are more a payment processor, not directly the transaction company. And then we charge the organizations and the governments on a monthly and annual subscription fee. It's a huge market. It's widely underestimated. 2 trillion are basically raised and distributed every year among different programs to more than 10 million organizations that work in a non-profit space. On the left-hand side, this is the growing market for cash assistance. Cash assistance is unrestricted financial aid that organizations increasingly deliver to people in crises. It's one of the most efficient ways to help people on the spot with their immediate basic needs. It's currently reaching 10 billion and it will grow over the next years to 40 billion a year. Now, this is my favorite slide. Of course, every startup is unique. But what really sets us apart is we have an unparalleled reach in transacting funds across borders. We can, in real time, ensure transparency, traceability, and immutability. And with the AI tools, we additionally ensure that fraud can be detected at the spot. That really sets us apart. We are 9 people at the moment. Half of our people are based here in Switzerland. Our CFO has a background, worked at Oracle. Our CTO, 25 years plus architecture and system engineer experience. We have just hired 3 more people in sales in various regions. Our board of advisors combines people from the UN and the financial sector. We won several awards, recognitions, of course, but more importantly, we onboarded 10 of the largest humanitarian organizations to date. We just secured a partnership with the Swiss government, the Foreign Ministry, STEZA, and we also work currently with 3 UN agencies, one of the biggest, the UN World Food Programme, UNICEF, and the UN CDF, on various programs and distributions across the world. We are raising our Series A, just launched it last week, and we are basically looking to close it by summer. We have previously secured 3 seed and pre-seed rounds, and we're going to widely invest the funds in business development and growth to further accelerate. We are super honored and proud on our recent award 2 weeks ago that we won in Basel at the International Cooperation Forum, personally handed over by Bundesrat Cassis for the best peace-building project. We're going to start working with the Swiss government next month to basically support them on the digital innovation side, implementing projects that are funded by the SDC, by the DETSA, in various development countries that they work with, that they're included with. And yeah, feel free to connect. I mean, there might be people here maybe from the wealth management side that are interested in philanthropy, interested in strategic aid delivery. We can assist you, and looking forward to connect. Thank you so much.
So, big thanks to THORWallet, TRESIO and Aidonic for presenting this. I hope you love these startups as much as I do.
Finally, the mandatory risk warning. The content of this episode is for general information only and is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial products. All information is supplied without guarantee, and this is not an investment advisory.